me ducks, and welcome back to Sharpest Koi. It's been a while, yes I know, but there's been absolutely nothing to film. Same old, different day. So it's project time. And my battery's about to go, so let me go and change that first. Yeah, it's project time. It's winter. Always do more projects in the winter than the summer, to be honest. Some of you actually want to sit and enjoy the pond. You want to sit by it in the sun with a beer and enjoy your fish. The winter's when to come to do the project. But has to be a winter job because it's enclosed the pond time. So if you've been following my channel for a while, you would have seen past videos. Last winter what I did, I decided to enclose the pond, but I used the polythene stuff like you get on polytunnels. It was okay, it did its job to be fair, but a couple of storms did rip it to shreds, so it wasn't strong enough. So what I'm going to do this time is tarpaulin it to make it a bit stronger, put it on proper frames. But stage one, we've got to sort the roof out. So obviously when we enclosed it last year, we used the clear tarpaulin. I left it on all year. As you can see, it's now starting to deteriorate a bit. There's holes in there, water does drip through. So this time I've got some polycarbonate sheets. I'm going to polycarbonate at the top. Now my plan is at some point I do actually want to enclose the whole pond for winter with polycarbonate sheets, but to do the roof and to do the sides it's going to be too expensive this year. So we're going to tarpaulin the sides, but we will polycarbonate the roof, so at least the roof then is a permanent structure until I come to redo the pond, of course, as you know. So yeah, so this needs to come off. I'm going to keep this netting on. All this is, by the way guys, you ain't got to go get some fancy netting for your pergolas. It's one of these trampoline enclosures. It's one of them. Someone was getting rid of it because it had holes and stuff in it, which was at the very end. This was years and years ago, so I bought it off them. Can't remember how much now, really cheap, and I just cut it up and used it for there. But that's going to stay on because I want to use that as it does create a bit of shade, and then we can put the clear polycarbonate sheets across the top. So yeah, I've got two of the long pieces, two of the small pieces. It's already cut to length, so I had that measured. I had that cut to measure when we bought it. So we've got the two short sides and the two long sides, so the length is fine. We might just have to cut a bit of overhang off, and of course we've got the diagonal bit as well. So yeah, this is going to come off. I've also got some extra wood just to raise the sides, because the two sides, as you can see, this side is actually lower than that side. So it's just going to raise up slightly. It's already on a slope because I did that last year anyway, but I might make more of a slope just so the water does run off properly and doesn't sit on the top, because that's where you're just going to get your algae and things like that. So I'm going to try and raise if I can. Depends how much these are screwed in, if they come out easy enough, just to raise it more and get that angle. So stage one, we'll get the roof sorted out. Yeah, here we go. Tools that are ready. So there's my four pieces. Obviously I've got the long sides for down there. Now the good thing about having it cut the length to size, it already comes with the aluminium tape around the edge, which obviously stops the dust and the water getting through into the grooves. I have brought some more tape anyway, because when I do cut it on this angle bit, and if I've got to do any other cuts, at least I've got some. Obviously you've got your sticky side for the UV side, so this is the bit that faces the sun, just stops the UV from penetrating it and deteriorating the polycarbonate. Now I got this from the polycarbonate store online, came recommended. I've seen a few other YouTubers that have been using this site for their polycarbonate. This is actually 10mm, so I've only gone 10mm for the roof. If I ever do come to do the sides with a polycarbonate, I will go a little bit thicker, I think. And it's not to heat the pond, to be fair. I mean, I don't heat the pond. It's basically just to keep that wind chill off over winter. It means things like, I mean, last winter it didn't get lower than 6 degrees, and I only used polythene sheets. So yeah, I was practically feeding my fish all winter. There's a couple of dodgy weeks where it really went frosty, but it didn't drop below 6. I mean, my fish, they normally stop eating around 8 degrees anyway. You can feed your fish down to 6 degrees, but my fish don't bother. If it gets to about 8, they stop anyway. So there's only a small amount going in. But it's just keep that wind chill off. It's the fluctuating temperatures, especially when you're coming into winter then coming out of winter, that can be the issue. You can have warm days like this. I mean, it's a cracking autumn day today. It's absolutely roasting. It's nearly 20 degrees and it's the middle of October. Things like my acers I can keep in here and they ain't, the frost ain't going to get to them. Mind your own business. Yes, I know they grow back, but to be fair, I don't know if you saw my videos, things like that didn't even die off, where the frost normally kills that. So yes, to keep that wind chill off, fish are still swimming around. It's not going to heat the pond, I know that, but it does what I want it to do. So yes, we're going for the 10mm sheets. So this is the bit that will face the sun, this side. I've already turned them around. I've got the strips to join them together as well, the aluminium strips. They just go onto your rafters. And we've got some edging on there as well, just to come down the sides. So yeah, I think before I rip that off, I'll just get it just measured up, just in case. Oh guys, by the way, does your cat like to sit on the windowsill, but then you end up getting cat fur everywhere? Well, grab yourself one of these. Just to chill, look out the window. It's soft, and because the sun shines on it, it gets lovely and warm. And that's what he likes. So I can imagine using it a lot in the winter as well when he doesn't want to go out. Perfect. We had to put a sheet there before, or we come and lie on the blooming washing. So this now perfect for him. He comes and lies on here, can stare out the window. Absolutely fluffy as well. And all you need to do, if you stick it in the tumble dryer on a very low heat, this will actually fluff up even more. Where's he gone? What I'll do, guys, I'll actually put a link into one of these cat mats in the description below. You can also use this for your dog. It works great for travel crates or your dog crate, things like that. As you can see, my cat absolutely loves it and he's never off it. And he actually prefers this now to his favourite bed. So yeah, get one. Right, so I've already come across my first problem. So what I wanted to do, these are screwed in here, but they've been in that long, there's no way I can get that screw out. That one, you can see, I tried clawing it out, it's just going to rip the wood apart, and I don't want to having to go down the route of having to change all these joists right now. So what I'm thinking, if I can get a bit of wood, maybe thicker than that, to go across there, front and the middle, just to stop any bend if water sits on the polycarb, just to give it that bit of extra slope, because I need it to run off that way. And I don't think that is high enough for the slope, so I need to raise it, maybe 2 of them, or if I've got some thicker wood I can just then go all the way across, and at least then the polycarb is going to sit up here and go down that way. Obviously I do one in the middle as well to stop any bowing, and then these gaps we can fill in with sort of foam for the winter, just to stop the wind getting through, and I'll leave some open anyway for airflow. But I think that's going to be my best bet. Right guys, it's a new day and it's not as warm. It's a foggy start to the day and it's freezing. I only did a little bit yesterday, I had stuff to do, so, and I forgot to vlog along, but I've only put a couple of pieces on anyway. This I've still got to cut. This will be a diagonal cut across there, so don't worry about this big bit here. And it is hanging over now. I'm going to keep that. The missus wasn't too happy about it hanging over, but I just think it just gets a bit more shelter on this side. So the 2 long pieces are up. Don't worry, because that bit of wood isn't staying like that. When I measured it like an idiot, I didn't measure. I should have measured from rafter. So basically the end finishes on a rafter for the metal strip that joins the 2 polycarbs together like that. And I didn't think about that, did I? So for something to sit on, I've temporarily just put that in there. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to put struts across, which will support the weight, and then that can come back out. So it's just there temporarily. And once these bits of wood are painted black as well, It's like that. I've obviously had to raise that because the side of the pergola is lower than the beams. But once it's painted black, you won't notice. So then they're secure, they're down. So now we've got the bits to go onto this side, which is 2 pieces. That should be pretty straightforward, so it shouldn't take that long now. The only thing I've got to do is obviously when the join comes in, I've probably still got to put another one of them in. But like I says, I think if I put struts across, paint them black, it'll look neater. My knees are killing me from yesterday. My knees were absolutely throbbing, so I've got to dig out my knee pads because getting up there and kneeling down, honestly, it was painful. Last night my knees were in agony. I'm getting old, guys. I'm getting old. Yeah, so I'm on the hard stuff. I don't know where it is. I've lost my drink. If you need energy, get the killer down you. Get the killer down you. So I've got to take the rest of the tarpaulin off. Looks dark under there, but I've got my USB boards that I was kneeling on. I don't know if you can see. Right. As you can see, I just left everything out as well. I couldn't be asked to tidy up last night. So, get everything out. And, yeah, quick look at the fish. There you go, there's a quick look. Right, let's crack on. So what I was saying with the sides, you see better here, look. So the beams are quite high up, but the ends are lower. So, just so the polycarb doesn't look stupid and fall sideways, or water's going to fall this way, these bits of wood here is what's just going to go on across there, and that'll just raise it up the same height, so at least it'll be completely level. Now I changed my mind, of course, what I did when I last picked up the camera, because I said I was going to put a bit of wood across there, all the way across, which would raise it to more of a slope, but it would look ridiculous. It absolutely looked ridiculous. Where the gap was too big. So I'm just going to keep a gradual slope. Yes, I think water is going to sit on it at some point, especially when it gets to the end. I'm not sure if you can see on camera the gradual slope. I wanted about 175mm height this side for it to have a good drop, but it's not, it's about 100mm. So it could be different, of course, once it snows. Have a quick look. These ladders are dodgy. You can't really tell at the minute because I've got that board on there which is flattening it. I shouldn't have left that on there. I don't know why I did that. Water is going to sit there, I know it is. But yeah, it is what it is. End of the day, I'm on about changing all this anyway at some point in the near future, so when I come to redo the pond. And my net, my net's come down, I've just noticed that. I'll have to pin that back up. Right, well, we're nearly there. I was meant to do a time lapse, but I forgot. I'm crap at this vlogging lot. Let me just pop you up there, look. All the sheets are on. As you can see, we've got to do a bit of trimming. So I've still got to trim across there. Still got to just trim some edges off. And I've had to push them back because I wanted it to hang over the guttering on the garage. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to trim across there so it's all level. I've got some more aluminium tape anyway, so that won't be an issue. And then what I did, so when you come to the join, the aluminium strip, this time, this is what I should have done in the first place, because that sits on there much better and it looks neater, where before, like you can see there. So I'm just going to put some across there, and obviously we're going to get rid of that, and then we're going to do something so it goes from there to that one. But I can wait till I cut that because it'd be easier to get in. And then we're just going to do one in the middle, as you can, I don't know if you can see just where my finger is. Just make it look a bit neater and a bit more solid as well. Cat's walking on top of it, I don't want them bloody popping out that strip or anything. So we've got to trim the edges off. you can only get them in certain lengths. You can't get, I didn't get them cut to measure like the polycarbonate sheets, so they do hang off, so I've just got to hacksaw them off. That's not an issue, but it's all pinned down. Like I say, it's a gradual slope, it's not as much of a slope as I wanted. And then what I think I'll do, when I do come to do the sides on the next part, which will keep everything in, what I might do for the eaves is get some insulation foam, which will then just block up the eaves. But I'm not going to do every one because I want an airflow to go in. I don't want this condensation dripping off. That's the issue we had before. When I used to have sheets across the top years ago, before I had this channel, I had an issue with a lot of condensation, and it used to mess up with my water parameters quite a bit. So that's what I don't want. And I still want a bit of an airflow. So even if I just keep like every other one or every other two, something like that, just so it goes all the way through, there's a bit of an airflow, a bit of a circulation of airflow coming up, so it's not completely blocked. Might move that one back because I don't like the look of that, but once it's painted black anyway, you probably won't even notice as much. Just stands out, doesn't it? That's the problem. I'll go further back with it, maybe. We'll see. Alright, so we'll get my axle right, we'll get the trimming done, we'll get a jigsaw and go across there, and then obviously we'll go across here just so it lines up and doesn't look as shit. But first, I'm absolutely starving, and I don't know what I've got for lunch. I'll have to have a look. Right guys, this is actually going to be a bit of a series of videos, because not only am I doing the roof like I mentioned earlier, I'm also going to be doing all the sides over the next sort of few weeks. I'm going to proper enclose them in. I'm going to use tarpaulin this time. I'm going to have doors in each corner, where before I used to pin them open, it was too flimsy. So we're going to use it, have it on the swinging doors, so I can get to the backy, get to the skimmer, and get to that side of the backy. So 3 doors is all I really need on it, I think. And also I'm going to put the QR code up there. If you scan the QR code, it takes you to the channel, and hit subscribe if you're not subscribed already. I've also got these to put on, so these just go on the edge, make it a bit more decorative. Now I bought white, I wish I'd have bought clear now, but it is what it is. I'm not too fussed. If I want to change them down the line, I can change them down the line. So yeah, I'm going to get them on. They'll just go down the edge and on the other side as well. Got plenty there, got enough to do, and then I can do the diagonal bit as well, I think. No, I'm not going to have enough to do all the way across the front, I just realised. Once I cut that, I could have used that, but I won't have enough. You know, you carry on using the tape across the front, we'll just use these on the side. I'll do them quickly actually. Right, so that bit is cut. Put some tape across, but I'm going to use the trim, I think. So the trim is just going to go all the way around the edge. It just looks a bit tidier than what this aluminium strip is. So that's cut. I've also changed that bit of wood, so now it goes across, so the beam can sit on there. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to get some wood like that to make a bit of a fascia. So we can paint that black. So get some longer pieces. I was just trying in that to see what it looked like. And then that's just going to go all the way across the front, so it'll just tidy it up a bit. So once it's painted black as well, and also it will restrict some of the airflow, and then I can, when I've got a smaller gap then, which I'm going to do I think every other one with just some foam over the winter once I do the sides. But if I use that as a bit of a fascia all the way across the front, that should look alright, I think. Just neatens it up a bit. Everything's trimmed now. Like I say, I've trimmed that corner, I've trimmed the aluminium strips that go what's leaning over the other side. Everything's pinned down. I'm in a bit of a mess, I've got to tidy up. But yeah, get them white strips. They're not easy to put on, I ain't gonna lie. And it will just look like tied in that aluminium foil, the dust tape, whatever it's called. So I've got the edge on there, look. I just think it'll look a bit neater. It's just getting them on. Like I say, it's not easy, they're quite hard to get on. You've got to sort of pinch the polycarb a bit and then sort of whack them on. Yeah, I'm chuffed with that. Chuffed with that. I was obviously going to get some struts across there that the aluminium beam seat sits on, but the only way I'm going to do it now is if I cut a hole in the net. I'm not sure if there'd be enough slack to get some wood across. I'll have a look at that in a sec. I've just got to pin that net back up as well where the nets come down. And if we take you up the ladders so you can see the top, I have put the hose pipe on it and it does run off, which is the main thing, not like you're going to be able to see from the camera. yeah, quite a neat finish, to be honest. Chuffed to bits. So you can see where I've had the hose pipe on it. A bit of water sits on, so I don't know how much algae is going to form, but we'll see. Like I said, I want more of a slope. But anyway, easier way to do that is do that when you build the pergola in the first place. Right guys, we're going to leave it there. We're losing a bit of light and I've got a Sunday dinner on the way. So any painting in the facer we'll do on to the next video when I start to do the sides. Like I say, it's going to be a series of videos. So I'm pretty chuffed of what we've done. A lot of hard work. I'm knackered, I'm tired. Like I said, I'm losing light, so I'm not going to start any painting now. I'll put some more struts across just to hold them beams into place, stop them from bowing a little bit. I found a little bit of a dip and I've just put the hose pipe on top. Every panel, by the way, the water runs off, it runs onto the garage, into the guttering, even the two long ones where it goes straight at the end. But this side, what I've done, because of the metal aluminium strip that runs across there, and I've put, I don't know if you can see it, which is just above the camera, I've put the batten a little bit too high, so it sort of goes up a little bit, so there is a dip and the water's sitting there. So I'm just going to quickly sort that, but I'm going to do that off camera because I'm going to say goodbye to you guys. So obviously guys, if you're not subscribed already, like I mentioned earlier, give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you hit the hype button as well and help me out. And we'll see you next time for another video. Shop is Koi, where we'll start doing some sides. Cheers my ducks. Bye.